Hello, it's Carl from United Applications Limited, and I'm really looking forward to welcoming you to the RAMSAI V2 engine. So let's dive in. I'm only going to be able to show you one or two of the changes in this short video, but firstly you'll notice that your dashboard has literally not changed. You've still got a project card across here and you've got individual modules like you had before. However, here's one of the biggest changes. Let's just go over to settings and then click on modules. So the first thing you're going to see is the modules that you've got on your dashboard here. These are now reorderable, so you can set them how it best suits your company. But then on top of that, you've got a whole load of specialist modules. We've still got the general construction module that you've been used to that covers 60, 70, 80 trades. But then we've got over 20 specialist modules that cover specific RAMS requirements for UK contractors. So let's just add one. So we can hover over them and you can read the cards and it will tell you a little bit about what each one does. And by clicking the plus symbol, we can add that module to our dashboard. Let's drag that right to the front. Let's go back to the dashboard to have a look at it. There you can see we've now got the fire and life safety RAMs added to the dashboard. Now on top of that, you can click the three-dot menu here and click manage modules and turn on and off the different modules on a per project basis. So as your projects change, you can tailor the requirements that you need specific to each project. Now let's create a RAMS doc and let's just go into general construction, and this is where things get a little bit different than they were before. So straight away you see that we're not confronted by a huge stepped system with complex forms. Instead we have Simon. He's what we like to call our H&S advisor. We've took the concept of the kids game Simon Says, which as we all know, if you do what Simon says, you're gonna win. You're probably right. So let's start. Straight away, this is the first screen of your RAMS intake system, and you can choose individual pills. As you can see here, you can hit the drop down and open everything that's in general construction, and all the different modules have a similar setup. So let's say we're doing an electrical first fix job. We can just click on that pill. We can free type as well in the box, but let's do that. And now it's just a matter of chatting with Simon. In this case, we'll take his suggestion and call it First Fix Electrics for this particular job. If it was a more complex job with several different phases, we might want to break that title down. But in this case, we'll just click Confirm Phase. Again, reading what he has to say, we'll consider this as a commercial building, and he's going to ask you a series of questions as to what's involved in the job. So let's go with full first fix installation, click confirm, and he'll continue to ask you questions to scope out the job. And this will obviously add towards the completed document at the end. So let's just say we're using a scaffold or tower. Will any work involve restricted access? Let's say ceiling voids. And we'll say that we've got full isolation. So most of the time you can follow the actual pills, the suggestions, but if you find something that doesn't match your exact requirements, you can free type as well. We'll say this is cabling only, no distribution boards in this case, and we'll say yes, it's an older building. We'll say that we're on site only and that permits are likely, but we're going to confirm that later. So again, you can specify the welfare facilities on site now, so let's do that, and we'll say that we've got toilets and wash facilities and drinking water. We'll specify working hours, and let's say this is a Monday to Friday job. We'll confirm site access on arrival and the evacuation route at induction. We'll say that an induction is required, and that's the principal contractor's site induction. So we'll confirm that, and we'll say the building is vacant or unoccupied. We'll say there's no exclusions at this point, and we'll say no to this question. So that's it. You've basically built a RAMS document at this stage, but it's got to compile yet. So let's just move on to site details first. Now, if we've specified a client, it's there. If not, you can select from the drop down or you can create one. The project name, we'll say that it's a standalone job, so we'll just call it electrical first fix, and we'll type a street address for the project address. Let's suggest a start date and an end date. We've got two operatives on site, name supervisor, telephone number. If you've got people saved in your people directory, then you'll be able to auto-populate that straight from here. We'll say there's no young workers. We can add roles and responsibilities for other people involved with this project, should you want to detail it onto the RAMS document, and we'll add a first aider. and the nearest A&E should be pulled from the postcode that you put in. Obviously I put a bogus postcode in before, but it's going to find the nearest postcode to the site address. Emergency contact name, again we'll pull from your people directory should you have anybody in there. Muster point, so it's as per induction, front of property, or whatever else that you'd like to type here. Then we hit generate document. This is the time now that you can go and put the kettle on if you want. This will take approximately 2 to 3 minutes while RAMSAI compiles the entire document, checks everything that you've written, ensures that everything is compliant, and then we'll move on to the preview screen. I'll come back in a minute when this is completed. You can see we've got a timer here, so you'll see how long this will take when the job has been done. Okay, so you saw that the AI took around about 2.5 minutes to complete the document and then dropped us on this screen. This is the review screen and it basically shows you what's going to be in the document. So what we have from here, we can edit setup details, which is effectively the specifics of the document itself. We can send this for review to an internal team member if somebody else needs to sign this off, or you can check it yourself. So the way we do this, we go through the document and there'll be certain points that you get sticky notes. Each one of these stickies you can click on. You can agree or disagree or change specifics, and you can say that you're done reviewing and that sticky will turn green. You can adjust method steps. As you can see, you can add them, you can reorder them, you can change them by clicking through, you can delete them. When we're done, we click done reviewing. We can look at certain things on the hazard register. That all looks good. Adjust PPE, tools and plant. So take for example, if you're not going to be using metal cutting tools, remove it from the document to make it as accurate as possible for HSE, etc. And you can add other tools, etc. And you'll see what you've removed and what you've added in the document. Then you just click apply changes and it's done. If something isn't suggested here, you can type to create your own entries as required. We can change substances for COSH and adjust exclusions, etc. Now, if one of these stickies is red, you will not be able to proceed to sign off. There'll be something that needs attention, but anything that is amber effectively can be adjusted, can be checked as done review just for your own record, or you can skip it. And you can see here the system will tell you what might be holding you up or what isn't. So let's proceed to sign off. Here's a little reminder that you might need to check something off. If you click review them, it will scroll you to that particular point. But let's carry on anyway. So if you're signing this document, just carry on. And if you're assigning to a team member, you can click here. And once you've added 1 or 2 people to your people directory, you can add them from here. So let's say I'm going to sign this. I'm the site manager. Again, if this was filled in the people directory, it would auto-populate this. I'll confirm I've reviewed the RAMs, approve and sign off, and now I'm done. So at this stage, I can print and sign off as a PDF. That's now going to open the document, ready to go. As you can see, got a beautifully laid out hazard registry table, risk matrix, everything you'd expect. And this document will auto-populate with signatures at the bottom as required. Add your logo, it'll add it to the top. You can send via email. We've got an operative sign-off section, so you can add operatives here and then take this out to the field and get people to sign any of your documents should you want signatures. And you can do that on a mobile phone, tablet, or on your desktop in the office. So that's a brief look at document creation and the brand new V2 RAMSAI engine powered by our H&S advisor, Simon. We hope you like it. The idea was to take the pain of filling out complicated forms away from document creation and almost allowing you or anybody else to create a document very, very easily and then potentially sign off yourself or send to somebody else for preview and sign off if that's how your company works. So if you've got any questions, feel free to drop our support team a line. We're always there to support you. If you find any bugs, let us know. We fix them very, very quickly, usually always the same day. And in terms of feature requests, look at some of our enterprise plans. We work with our clients and we build features that really matter to you guys and the way that you operate on a daily basis. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for using RAMSAI, and I'm sure we'll speak soon.